fact is, Kamala Harris was found to be the most liberal senator. For instance, during the George Floyd riots, she was very much interested in the idea of defunding the police, another thing that has disappeared down the memory hole for the Democrats. But here is Kamala Harris talking about defunding the police. Cut 10.
We have confused the idea that to achieve safety, you put more cops on the street. Instead of understanding to achieve safe and healthy communities, you put more resources into the public education system of those communities, into affordable housing, into home ownership, into access to capital for small businesses, access to health care regardless of how much money people have. That's how you achieve safe and healthy communities. And so we really do need to understand and reimagine what and how we can actually make and help make communities safe.
So she's getting to the root causes of crime, just like she's getting to the root causes of why people are pouring over our borders. You know, it doesn't do anything, but at least she's getting to them. The other thing she did during the George Floyd riots, and they are now a fact-checking organization, said this wasn't true, but it is true. She supported a fund to bail out rioters. She had a tweet that went out, if you're able to, chip in now to the MN Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. And to be clear, this is reporting from Stephanie Price at Fox News. The fund spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to free an alleged knife murderer, a convicted rapist who was facing charges of sexual assault and kidnapping, among others. Another criminal was a guy named George Howard. He allegedly became involved in a road rage altercation on an interstate where he killed another driver. Ann Coulter, on her Unsafe Substack, which is very good, her Unsafe Substack, she makes the point that as Attorney General of California, the only thing that Kamala has ever been elected to, it was Kamala's job to name propositions. You know, in California, they vote on all the propositions that then become law, unless the government doesn't want them to, then suddenly they don't. But in this case, they did. And Kamala's job as Attorney General of California, her office named these propositions. So, for instance, they had Proposition 47, which turned grand theft, commercial burglary, and possession of illegal narcotics into misdemeanors. These had been felonies, and then they turned them into misdemeanors. And this is the one where they said that theft of anything worth less than $950, even if it was a gun, became a misdemeanor, which resulted in huge spikes in shoplifting and smash and grab robberies. And last year, Los Angeles, Oakland, and San Francisco topped the list of the U.S. cities with the most retail theft. So Kamala's office, when she was Attorney General, entitled Proposition 47, the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools Act. Then there was Proposition 57, which allowed the early release of thousands of violent criminals, including those convicted of murder, attempted murder, grand theft, child molestation, drug use, and possession of drive-by shootings. Among those released under Proposition 57 was Gregory Gadlin, who had been sentenced to 35 years to life for assaulting his girlfriend with a 7-inch butcher knife. He had previously been convicted of raping his 11-year-old niece and the rape and sodomy of a pregnant 17-year-old. He was freed under Proposition 57. So was Luis Stephen Flores, who had been convicted of assault with a deadly weapon, a semi-automatic gun, battery on a peace officer, and battery of another inmate, and Alfredo Casillas, who shot a rival gang member and nearly beat him to death. Harris's office, when she was Attorney General, called Proposition 57, the Early Parole for Nonviolent Criminals and Juvenile Court Trial Requirements Initiative, and her summary told voters that a yes vote supported increasing parole and good behavior opportunities for felons convicted of non-violent crime. And then she lied when confronted about this by Norah O'Donnell on CBS.
You're very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah, well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal. You supported Medicare for all.
That stupid look on her face is the look you're going to see if there's a nuclear attack while she's president. Just a dumb look. And you will not believe this. You will not believe how fast things are changing. This is absolutely true. GovTrack, the so-called nonpartisan organization that said that Kamala Harris in 2019 was the most liberal senator, has taken that web page down. I had a list of her votes in 2019. that I was looking at all week long, getting ready for this show. When I went to find it, it had been removed even from that Wayback Machine that is supposed to preserve all the things that are on the internet. This is a genuine attempt to have a present unburdened by the things that were, a future for Kamala Harris unburdened by all the things she has ever done and believed. She has repeatedly supported equity over equality. Equity is a socialist idea that we should give people what they need and take from them only what they can give. That's socialism. So if, for instance, I'm playing LeBron James at basketball and he's got, 500 points and I've got none, I get 250 of those points because that's the only fair way to play it. There is right now one person precisely who is telling the truth about Kamala Harris, and that is Donald Trump.
She is a radical left lunatic who will destroy our country. If she ever gets the chance to get into office, we're not going to let that happen. I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that
okay? So will people listen to him? Will people listen to Donald Trump telling the truth? Men will. Men will. Women who listen to their men will. Women without men will keep believing the same people who lie and lie and lie to them, even when those lies become exactly the opposite. There's one lie going around about J.D. Vance cursing out people, basically, degrading people, women who don't have children. They cut out the 5 minutes before that when he said, I am not talking about all women who can't have children. I'm talking about the fact that too many female Democrat leaders don't have children, which is a real problem in Europe, too. There, for a while there, almost all the leaders of Europe had no children, men and women, obviously, both. And that's a bad thing because you don't have an investment in the future. And that is a problem with Democrats who are, in fact, anti-natal. So that is another lie that is being told. That guy is great. I love him. Like and subscribe to him and to the Andrew Klavan podcast wherever you get your podcasts.